All right, what's up, my brothers and sisters? Y'all know who it is. It's the Hurricane, Universal Being. And this right here is part 2 to Mother Nature and Father Time. And this is how I see it, all right? And as far as the universe / multiverse as a whole, all right? Now, in order for y'all to walk with me, let me go ahead and have y'all pull up, if you can, on your computers or phone, pull up the ancient Mayan cosmology. And this is very important because really this right here is kind of pretty much grafted off of the ancient cosmology, the pre-Copernican universe, all right? Pre-Copernican, all right? Now, pre-Copernican, of course, is, before Copernican came up with his concept of the universe or concept of a globe or heliocentric universe, all right? And y'all know Copernican, you know what I'm saying? That's who he is, Nicholas Copernican, all right? You can pull him up. He was one of the founders or creators of this of a globe, a heliocentric model. So what we're going to do is we're coming from this model, and of course this right here, like I said in the first video, this is a side view of what we see right here, which is the flat earth ring map. You can also pull this up, pull up ancient flat earth ring map, and you will see exactly what we're looking at here. All right. Now, this part 2 is basically talking about, we're going to get into, of course, the great deep. And we're also going to get into the aspect of us being the children of the grands. Remember, I told you when it comes to the grands and the great grands, as far as the great grandmother and great grandfather and what have you. All right. I feel like when it comes to this, the plane, all right, which would be what I put the mid ground. Okay. This is middle ground right here. Your Norse gods would call it Midgard. Okay. And which would be the middle ground, is where everyone, like I said, you boom up and your soul drops and gets planted. All right. Like a seed down into the ground. All right. And it sprouts or grows as a tree does as well. All right. Plain and simple. Right. Now, as far as the great deep, I didn't get into the great deep. All right. Because when it comes down to me explaining this, understand that everything has to be recycled. Everything physical falls. And then when it comes to the soul or the gas, which is the spirit, okay, that rises. All right. Because let me just tell y'all. All right. There's no such thing as gravity. It's only one word to describe it all. Simple. OK, the word is density. All right. Density determines how high or how low an object drops depending on its mass or weight. All right. So when it comes to the flesh, all right, the flesh drops and what? The soul rises. The soul is light. The soul literally is light, not light as in just a beam, but light as in weight. All right. It is lightweight. And the body, of course, is heavier than the soul because the body is literally just a housing for the soul. So once the soul comes down, gets its housing, it then has weight to it, which then keeps it grounded here on mid ground. You see what I'm saying? Now, in order to explain to me the great deep, you also have, of course, your own, your great deep has its own creatures in its own habitat, or creatures within its own habitat, right? Fish and what have you. Okay. Beyond that, which is even deeper to me, this where the root comes in. I feel like there is nothing down here deep. All right. Except for coming from me energy that is being stored or ready to then house more souls. What I'm trying to say is basically, I think that this is a recycling for the physical. This is a recycling for the spiritual. Plain and simple, basically is what I'm saying. All right. So when flesh drops, okay, regardless of what realm it's in, like, look, for instance, check out this right here. Let's say we're living in this realm. All right. This realm of reality, this plane. All right. Once my body dies in this plane, it then drops down and gets buried into this ground. All right. And it will then get recycled down to the great deep. All right. And it will somehow find its way back up. All right. to this mid-ground for another soul to get housed. You see what I'm saying? I feel like it is literally one big perfect cycle or cycle of life. You see what I'm saying? As in the things that are the most light, boom up. The things that are the most dense, come down. All right. But everything still gets recycled onto its next plane of existence, which would be the mid-ground. All right. I feel like everything is meant to be balanced, y'all. This is why that's why they even call it the grand scales. To me, the grand scale literally is this right here, the universe, the grand scale of the universe. All right. Period. And to me, the grand scale is meant to be balanced. The imbalance of the grand scale, to me, throws off everything. And that's why, to me, we have people that are trying to basically shorten the lifespans of people. Because if you shorten the lifespans of people, you're also shortening their experience on this plane, which then, to me, closes in those planes. It makes those planes smaller, to me. If you think about it, man, like if we're being dumbed down and we're not being taught the knowledge that we need, if you think about it, y'all, how are we going to grow, spiritually and mentally? So if you think about that, if they're trapping us and keeping us dumbed down, then all these other planes of existence, they're also going to be lowered or dumbed down as well. Because like I said, coming from me, it's all a collective. This is a life cycle. So that means that everything is connected. Nothing is disconnected. Everything is connected. It also makes sense on why they want to separate everybody mentally and physically. Okay, because you all know what's going on right now in this whole, what we're going on. Okay, what's going on right now? We all know. I'm not even about to even mention it because I don't even want to put it back in the universe. But when it comes down to it, we see what's going on. All right, they're trying to trap souls so that the souls won't continue this cycle, y'all. All right. So what they're doing, they're playing God, of course, or they're playing the creators. They've been playing the creators. And to me, this is the main reason why everything is going to shut down or reset, because of us tampering with that which ain't supposed to be tampered with. We're supposed to be going through this natural cycle. And I feel like them playing the creators they're putting a synthetic cycle on it. OK, an unnatural cycle, which is going to throw off the natural cycle, which is going to cause a reset in the whole thing. All right. So when people are talking about these resets and the end of the world and what have you, it's not literally at the end of the whole everything. No, it's a reset, period. Just like how you have a daggone video game on, your power button stays on. Let's just say you press the reset button. What happens? Everything goes to black and then blinks back up and resets. That's all that's happening. The power button, to me, never goes off when it comes to the universe. All right, y'all? So the meaning to me, the whole big thing is for us to literally become grand, y'all. It's meant for us to become grand. You see what I'm saying? We are the children of the grands. So we are the grandchildren. What do the grandchildren do? They carry on the future generations. As what? As the grandparents watch from above. You understand what I'm saying? Those stars that we see at night, to me, those are the ancestors who graduated. They may have boomed all the way up to a reality that we can't even fathom or see. So all we see them as is stars, because all we can do is look up. We can't look directly outward because these are different realms or planes of existence. You see what I'm saying? So when everybody has fear of this whole heaven and hell type of deal, okay, like this would be basically the seven heaven concept. It goes outward even more. I just didn't do seven outward. But, of course, seven being symbolic or whatever, that number, of course, 7 times lucky, 7 days of the week, what I'm talking about? It's basically completion. All right. And then things reset. So if you think about it, it's the same thing. Like I said, everything resets, y'all, and everything's meant to be recycled. OK, and it's meant to continue on. I think they're trying to basically cut off that cycle. So if you think about us becoming grand or becoming great, OK, because remember, the two words I done told you, the words grand and great have nothing to do with age. The word great literally is like an extent. It has to do with the amount, the intensity of, or matter of fact, it also has to do with like it's above normal. OK, great is like above average. Who's great? The grandparents, the great grandparents. You see, because they're above, like, look, literally, y'all, they're above average. They're above, okay? Like the grands, the word grand, largest, most important. They were, see, the largest, most important, all right? And look, if you keep on going all the way up, I feel like this right here, what they would call Polaris, all right, the North Star, this to me is the great womb. That's the great womb, the great eye. I have it as a great eye that has opened, because if you think about thought being darkness and then your eyes opening, not your eyes as in your two eyes, but your third eye as in your mind. Think about you being in deep thought and then your mind just bam, that's that spark, that idea, you know, that ding, when you see that light bulb pop up above your head, that's the idea. To me, that's the eye opening. That was the daggone, the birth of the idea, the birth of life, literally was the opening of the womb of great grandmama, big mama, all right? When she opened her eye or opened her womb, okay, and had this idea of life, of universe, everything sprouted out from that. Everything. It was like instant. You see what I'm talking about? An instant cycle was born, okay, through light, which is the masculine. See, this is thought, an idea, y'all. Feminine, masculine, okay? Egg, sperm. Scratch that. Womb, son. Birth, child. Child comes down, this right here, then became masculine, the spark, because the spark then gets distributed outward. And all the spark has to do is be housed so that it's able to move around. It's housed within Big Mama. All right? Sorry about that mistake that I made, but yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. So the opening of the womb gave birth to the child, which was the masculine. The feminine gave birth to the masculine, all right? Period. That's why we call her Big Mama, all right? And this right here created duality, because this North Pole / wormhole is both masculine and feminine, which gives us the ability to have the duality of the two, the masculine and feminine, because Big Mama gave birth to both. The housing and the plane, which maintains everything, that's Mama, and then Father, the spark, the sperm that keeps on planting itself into the egg or Mother Nature, the ground, and grows. Cycle, y'all, cycle of life, all right? Us as the grandchildren need to become great, y'all, all right? We need to become great. We need to wake up our third eye, our mind, all right? And we need to honor Big Mama and Great Father, all right? Father Time and Mother Nature. They complement each other to keep this cycle going. They're not against each other. They're not at odds. They have us at odds so that we don't continue this cycle, y'all. Point blank, period, all right? All right? That's how I see it.